Today I have a good guest of a good friend of mine. He's my brother in the journey, and you guys are gonna get an opportunity to meet him. But before we get started, I need you guys to do me a favor. I need you to push the like button so you can subscribe to get notifications and get more content like this. Like I was saying, this brother did some, my brother in the journey because we were incarcerated together, and I seen his growth. Thank you for joining us. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself, your name, introduce yourself.
My name is Kris. Uh, um, I was a youth offender. I was formerly incarcerated for 12 years, 1 month on an aiding and abetting case for first-degree murder. And I was granted clemency by the governor and hit the ground running. Thankful to be out and busy ever since, just trying to make it out here.
Kris, how old were you when you went to prison?
22, I think, barely.
22?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
22. Yeah, that's a very young age. Let me ask you this, Kris. How old were you when you start making unhealthy choices? What influenced you when you start hanging around? Were you in the gang?
Never in a gang, but I had a criminal mentality for sure. And I mean, probably by eight years old, I was already doing foolish things. I used to live in LA. 14, I was in juvie. Trying to look for that acceptance, that family that when you want to be accepted, you want to feel loved and all that stuff. You find it where you can, So
yeah. So what year did you get out of prison?
2020.
2020, you got your freedom.
Yeah.
What has been like for you since then? What have you been doing? What have been some of your challenges? Your success, your failures?
Well, the success is, I've always been a little bit more harder on myself than most. So I'm still waiting for some of the successes. I guess the successes I haven't repeated and gone back to prison yet. That's a great. I'm about to go and have dinner and stuff with my daughter. Got this shirt made to be, play a little joke on her and stuff.
Yeah.
And I do have a relationship with my kids. So those are the successes. I've had a steady job since I've been out. And I haven't resorted to doing the old behaviors. I haven't resorted to slanging or anything to make money. So that's good. But I've been faced with a lot of, I don't want to say it. I haven't been faced with, I've just had a lot of growth opportunities out here, learning how to be a person, a normal person, I guess, whatever normal is, right? Like stuff that people deal with on a daily, they deal with it in a certain manner I'm not used to, like dealing with people and the vagueness of everything. It's not black or white. It's just like it's just a bunch of gray area all over. And I don't like that. I never was good with that. But I'm learning to be okay with it, learning to be in the present. I like just straightforward talk. Just tell me how it is, man. Don't even BS me. Just tell me what it is. And like inside, you know what you got coming. If you messed up, you know what you got coming. If you it's good, but out here it's weird. But I'm growing in that sense. I have learned now what it's like to have your identity hacked and stolen. That was a terrible experience. Because I'm still wrestling with it right now, trying to get back from it. And the stuff that people normally know, like I didn't know what spoofing was. I found out what spoofing is. They call from a fake number. It looks legit. They sound like the people. They got your name, everything. And you think you're talking to your credit union or your bank, whatever. And you're just like, oh, yeah, these are the people I'm supposed to trust. Yeah, they're trying to help me out. The whole time you're talking to the scammer. You take all your stuff. They run through all your accounts. They take out a loan. Yeah, and then when you try to call and say, "Hey, I need some help," like, "Hey, I just got scammed," and they're like, "No, you should have known better." You're like, "Oh, okay, thanks," and just little things like that. There's not there's not a lot of recourse for mercy in these situations, right? Like, so I have noticed that if you mess up out here, if you default on a payment, if you go wrong on this or that, it is what it is. Like, ain't nobody gonna help you pay rent because I got my wage garnished because I made 2 payments in the same month to the tax board for my restitution. I paroled with $20,000 debt. which is, you know, at the same time, you're like, I know I owe it. Hey, I did what I did. I created harm. I want to make things better. I'm not saying that I deserve to be in prison when I was. Everything, I don't shy away from any of that. But it's like, I get out with debt like that. How do you want me to pay it off? Every time when you talk to me, are you ready to pay off your debt today? Yeah, let me just pull $20,000 out my ass. Like, what am I supposed to do? You want me to not go back to slinging? So, I mean, so I grind, you know, I work several jobs, I do all that stuff. And I made one mistake of paying the bill twice, and then they garnished my wages. And when they garnished my wages, I was like, man, you guys just F me out of my rent. You know that, right? And they don't care. So I learned, like, you just have to be on your own game. And I don't want pity. I don't need mercy. I don't need any of that stuff. I'm just going to make it happen. And so I know what I don't like. And so if anything, I've become more rigid on certain things, and I can be, I'm still me. I still got the smile, but I'm grinding like I always have been, but I just have less patience and less time for nonsense, you know? And I'm more hard on myself now because you got nobody to, you only can, at the end of the day, you can only do what you can do, and you got to make sure you can depend on yourself. That's it.
Yeah. Kris, yeah, thank you for sharing that. I want to take you back, you know, when you were incarcerated. What was your mentality like while you was incarcerated? When you first got incarcerated, what was your mindset, and what was the feelings relating to that?
When I first incarcerated, it was after 2 years. After 2 years had already passed since the crime. So my mindset had already changed a little bit from my criminality.
Mhm.
I had already said, all right, I'm done with the lifestyle. I'm done with all that. And I had already started working a regular job. I'd given up dope dealing. And so when I hit prison, or I hit county first, and I did in the hole, uh, I was more like, man, idiot I was, you know? And then I was really angry while I was in the hole. I was really angry for a long time because mad at myself, mad that I believed a bunch of lies. I realized that, I mean, I kept my mouth shut, but I lost out
Yeah.
on my kid's life for a lie. For what? The other people, the dude didn't, nobody cares about you. You'll sell your life out, but nobody's going to care about you. Ain't nobody going to bring you nothing. Ain't nobody watching out for your kids. Ain't nobody watching out for your family. So I was really frustrated about all that. So hitting the joint, I was mad. I was really mad for a little bit, but um, I had more of a change of mind too. But I was already angry at the system and angry at the lifestyle. So I was just mad at everybody for a little bit.
Speaking of a change of mind, that's what I was going to ask you. When did your mentality shift while you were incarcerated? That, you know, look, man, I better, you know, get right, and, you know, if I ever want to come home, man, what did it for you?
Sitting at Wasco. So I was in Wasco for about 9 months just waiting. And 4 days in, they killed this old man in front of my cell. Right.
They killed an old man?
Yeah, man. Like, I mean, that's the first time I ever had my stomach turn like that. That was weird. I mean, you just don't see. He was in a wheelchair, you know, and
Yeah.
they did him dirty, bro. Like,
Was
it
this
is
at
what.
Wasco?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's mixed in there. And we're all
Yeah.
selling them. You got all kinds of levels, low level, high level. Everybody
Yeah.
coming in, name. Um, and they did it right in front of the cell. And that old man used to come by my cell every day to talk to my cellie to tell him what's up because they were cool. And yeah, man, they just did that, and I was like, wow, what did I do? Where did I come to? You know, like, this is crazy. But I remember too,
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't want to die in this place. What, like, I'm not trying to be old and decrepit because this is not a place to live. Like, they'll kill you in here, you know. Um, but it
Yeah.
also just hit me. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like that, my stomach, it hit me in the bones and the gut, everything. When I seen that, like, I felt pity for that old man, you know. But it made me realize, like, man, what am I going to do? Am I going to be in it forever? Is this what it is? And then God, I came to know God, or He found me, however you want to say it. Um, he really flipped my mind around too. He gave me a purpose in the sense that I was like, man, I want to be better. I don't want to be a dump truck. I don't want to be ignorant no more. I want to have a better vocabulary. I want to do my best, even though I was in prison, because also after seeing that, and I heard what he has talked to my cellie about and stuff. He had kids and grandkids, and you see all these guys with their kids coming in prison too. And I was like, man, fuck, I don't want that to happen to my kids. You know,
Yeah.
I don't want to be a statistic.
Yeah.
So that's really when it started.
And that's pretty much what we're trying to capture here, Kris, because we don't want kids to glamorize prison, thinking it's you tough because you went to prison, and like you said, you seen someone die when you went to Wasco, and that's very traumatic. And did you, after you saw someone die, did you go to a counselor or to go to detox what
Can't
you
go.
saw or something to decompress is the word I'm looking for.
Oh, and Wasco don't have it like that, and usually it's kind of frowned upon to be talking to, you know, you can't be going to psych.
Psychologist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't go on there. You look soft that way. It's just it looks all bad. So no.
you look soft. You don't want to seem weak when you saw it to go. So I understand. Yeah, you look weak when you could go to talk to a psychiatrist about what you just saw, and you make yourself a target or make yourself look weak, basically.
Yeah, for sure you do. That's why
Yeah,
you got to shoulder all that stuff, and you just take it in. I'm like, okay, next, yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, yeah. So like I said, that's very important to capture because a lot of these kids think they have the I don't care attitude, and they don't know what they up against, what's waiting for them if they continue on the path they on.
yeah. I would hope that they learn, I just hope that they can see that, um, if they just would care a little bit about themselves just as much as they care about what they're putting into the streets or the homies and this stuff. Life's got so many beautiful things in it that you're gonna miss out on. Just the simple beauty of taking a hike with the sun out and seeing it come through and looking at colors. Like you're like, dang, there's so many different colors of variations, or the breeze off the ocean, all that stuff. So
Well, Kris, I applaud you when you got your identity. When you was talking about how you got your identity stolen and how you got your check garnished and everything. How you could have resorted back to your old mentality, but you didn't. You just got a few more jobs and grinded and took care of it. And so I appreciate that you didn't go back to your old behavior and you hung in there and we were able to have this interview because had you would have went back to your mentality, we probably would be having this interview.
yeah, no, that's for sure. That's for sure. And I'm glad too. I'm still working on it. And
Yeah.
please excuse me. You've always known me. I'm always on the grind moving, and so I'm doing my hair and stuff. I just want to say excuse me for that while I'm getting ready and we do the interview.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to achieve before your time left here on Earth, or I mean, what are any goals that you want to do before it's all over, said and done?
Yeah, there's a lot actually. I'm trying to make it happen right now.
Give us a few.
Okay. Well, the general point or the general view is I like to have the biggest impact I can for good, or the biggest impact I can make in helping people. That'd be my go-to, right? That's my hope, because I realized and I found out while I was in prison, like I've always had a heart to want to help people, but I hid it, and then I went to the streets with it, and whatever I did.
Yeah.
And then I kind of found it again after the change and stuff. And I've always found pleasure in being able to help people, whether it was helping people learn how to play music or, work out, whatever it was. Like that's that's my purpose in life, just to help.
Yeah.
And my goal is, or to narrow it down, I like working with the at-risk youth. That's because I was an at-risk youth, right? And I feel like just talking to them, having a discussion with them is much more effective rather than trying to tell them what to do. You're
Yeah.
own decision. I knew by the time I was their age, it was done. So I'm really focused at trying to help them as best as I can, however that function is. And I want to take my skills in being able to be a dog trainer and my skills in doing some of the fitness coaching I do and put that all together and really just see if it can be something that's going to go out and be continued. Because just the little bit of time I've been able to spend with some of the young adults that I've worked with and seeing the motivation they have, and the goals and the dreams they have, and being able to just be there to encourage them and seeing that they're willing to want to come out and help. They're willing to want to do these things. To be able to build a program that can be there for them, to be a sense of community, that would be a good goal. And most importantly, to do that, but also to be a much better dad than I am, but be the best dad I can be, and being a good example to my kids in the sense that at least they can look at dad and say, I'm proud of my dad for
How many
that.
kids do you have? How many kids do you have?
I get to.
Two. Okay, cool. I'm pretty sure they're proud of you now.
I'm working on hoping. I'm
That's
hoping.
that. Yeah. Well, we are a work in progress. Like I said, I always known you always to be a hard worker.
Yeah.
When we were going through the journey, whatever you set your mind to, you get it done. So that's what I know of you. So I know if your goal is to be the best dad possible and to help others, I know you're gonna do it because you always displayed that to me.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us today, man. I really appreciate you accepting my invite. I just wanted to, because our Office Inside, our goal is hope, healing, reforming, reducing recidivism. And I know you're about helping at-risk youth, and that's what we're about. This is how we pay it forward, give it back. And like I said, that's why I invited you to join us today.
I appreciate you, and thanks for the invite. Sorry, I didn't have the time to just sit down like done, but you know me, I'm always going. Everything,
Yeah,
always.
exactly. Hey, man, I want you to be yourself, man. So if you want to go, I want to have a conversation with you while you're on the go. So it's all good.
I appreciate you, bro. Much love, and we gotta get together again, man.
Oh, definitely, man. I appreciate you, man, and take care, man, and be safe.
For sure. All right, bro.
Camera off.